Welcome back to Eugene, Oregon. Set for football this afternoon. A 5 o'clock start here in Eugene. The number 7 Oregon Ducks to take on the Eastern Washington Eagles, who are ranked in the top 10 of the FCS as well. They've built quite a program there in Cheney, Washington, but a huge assignment today against the Oregon Ducks. With Eastern Washington will kick to the Oregon Ducks. Braylon Addison, after a year's absence because of a knee injury, is back along with Byron Marshall. And the ball is chipped toward the goal line, and it is taken by Byron Marshall. He comes right up the seam. He's at the 30. Makes a little wiggle out to the 35, and that's where the Oregon Ducks will go to work just past their own 35-yard line.
But he had mastery of this system. This is where Vernon Adams needs to grow.
Adams is back. He is flushed. He will work to his left. He leans to the 50. He's out to the far boundary, and he's across for a first down and into Eastern Washington territory. Evan Bayless with a nice block downfield to spring him.
Well, you can only laugh. And we went back and watched Vernon Adams games last year at Eastern Washington. Then you talk to some of the coaching staff. They said he just has uncanny can play.
How about the tempo of Oregon? Is it dissimilar at all from Eastern Washington? The throw to the far side. Man coming free out of the backfield again. It is Royce Freeman. Died. 2 receivers to the left of Adams. Fakes a handoff, stumbles. Has a man breaking free out of the backfield. And it's going to go for a big gain. Tumbling across the 10-yard line is Kenai Benoit, 210-pound redshirt sophomore out of Phoenix, Arizona, and he can fly.
Run.
Gain at 43 on a play. Here's the handoff. And into the end zone comes Benoit. Kenai Benoit with a touchdown. Played in a half dozen games last year, and you can bet he's going to get more work this year.
If you had to script, and I'm sure Vernon Adams laid in bed many times and just imagined that first drive here in Autzen Stadium, this was perfect. He managed the offense. Once the defense has to worry.
But he arrived at Eastern Washington. Before the inside screen, Simba Webster makes the reception, but Chris Cisse comes up to make the stop.
Expect him to have a big year.
First down for Oregon. Don't blink. Here they come. Royce Freeman surveys, works to the far side, chops his steps and gets across for another first down.
Keep an eye on big 64, Tyler Johnstone. He's coming back. He hasn't played in a little while. Had a big injury. It's good to get him at that left tackle position. One of their most gifted offensive.
Had some experience last year because of injuries up front. Again, they go to the near post. Royce Freeman breaks a couple of tackles and then is finally pushed out of bounds. And he gains another first down for the Ducks.
Against it for 4 years.
Alec catch marching, caught up to him. Adams rolls out, throws into the end zone. Touchdown, Braylon Addison with a reception from Vernon Adams. And Oregon on top 12-0 here early.
Congratulations to Vernon Adams for his first career touchdown pass at Oregon, but really Braylon Addison, what exactly would happen for Freeman?
Freeman 6 carries, 51 yards already. Vernon Adams checks right, throws left up the seam, has a man back just down to the 2-yard line. Comes the long, rangy tight end, Dwayne Stanford, the wideout from Cincinnati, Ohio.
Watch Vernon Adams from 1 to 2, all the way across the field to number 3. That's somebody who's got a little mastery of this system.
And they send Royce Freeman into the end zone. Touchdown, Oregon. They always talk about sudden change here in Oregon. They're scored upon, then they come right back with a burst. They run it right down Eastern Washington's throat with Royce Freeman. The catch by Stanford, and then back to the ground they go.
Look, we don't want to start comparing Vernon Adams to Marcus Mariota, but on that drive, and that sequence of plays, that's exactly what we've seen Marcus Mariota do in the
percentage of that offense has he actually been able to translate to Vernon Adams. Here's the kickoff, deep into the end zone. A bit of hesitation. Simba Webster will bring it out. He is spun around. The ball nearly taken out of his grasp. So Eastern Washington goes to work deep in their own end at the 12-yard line.
So they can get their players in shape.
Addison, the man in motion. Nice tackle there, but fighting through the first contact and then plowing ahead is Benoit.
Well, there's a real competition for this backup running back spot. They're going to figure it out early on in this season. This is as healthy as they've been at the skill positions.
Here is Kanai Benoit breaking it up to the far sideline and driven out of bounds. Big gain for Benoit, who already has a touchdown this afternoon.
Look at that hole. How about that? Then he'll just follow the block and bite those balls.
Well, just an embarrassment of riches as Tony Brooks James comes into the lineup, the freshman from Gainesville, Florida.
Still first down.
Well, Brooks James was a big-time recruit, and they said he has big play potential. He did it all training camp.
And it's a tough deal today.
And a moment ago, Zach Bruce walked under his own power off the field. They give now to Tony Brooks James, who a moment ago came out of the backfield, broke a tackle and squirmed for another couple of yards. And now he runs into the end zone, and youth will be served here at Oregon. The redshirt freshman from Gainesville, Florida.
I think they got a little talent in the backfield. Whoa. They got some speed around the edge, I'll tell you what. Over Clay DeBoer, their left tackle.
The handoff again comes to Jalen Moore. This time he is chopped down for maybe a loss of a yard on the play.
To Italia. These third downs.
Pass out to the far flank. And it is caught by the tight end, Evan Bayless, 6'6" junior from Centennial, Colorado.
Season.
Adams fakes the handoff, has a man deep, angling the pass. Complete. Down to the 10-yard line. Dwayne Stanford, big target at 6'5".
It's a post route. He just climbs right in front of the two defensive backs at Eastern Washington. Just puts his body in front of him, makes the grab, and that's hard. That's hard to defend. That's
a guilty party. And so Oregon goes back to work, and here's Freeman just dancing into the end zone. Touchdown, Oregon. And all that, Yogi, coming on that third down strike to Dwayne Stanford to for grabs. It's intercepted. Not sure where he was going with that one. Yogi seemed to be confused when he let it go. There wasn't a whole lot of conviction there as Chris Cisse plucks it out of midair. It was thrown right to him.
Open up outside backer, in position athlete.
They give it to Freeman. Finds some room. Threading his way out to near the 30-yard line before Zach Bruce came up to make the stop.
Such patience getting through the line. Just takes his time, knows where his holes are, can set up his blockers, and then he just turns it on, and you're not going to be able to arm tackle him. Absolutely dominant wide receiver. I think he's an all-Pac-12 caliber player.
With a handoff here, bouncing out to the far side, Royce Freeman, and gets the first down, races out of bounds at the 26-yard line. The clock stops with 7 seconds. Snap the hold, the kick is up, and the kick is good. 38-yarder for Aiden Schneider. And Oregon goes to the locker room with a lead of 16, a 37-21. Very interesting first half. Wilson, the man in motion out of the backfield. Hard rush, and West is brought down and sacked for the first time this afternoon. It was Joe Walker who busted in there, the senior from Palos Verdes, California.
And that's a straight run through by Joe Walker. Not even touched. Right to the left of your screen. Oregon does a nice job of making sure they send a lot of bodies at their bodies between the defender and the back, and their backs can do the rest.
Royce Freeman will take it. Gets a block out on the edge. Avoids a tackler. Plows ahead near midfield. And Freeman once again has picked up a large swath of ground. Rashad Wadu comes up with the stop.
Well, running backs, they're taught to deliver it every once in a while. How about that? Royce Freeman isn't even there at their best.
2nd and 5, Adams. The handoff. Freeman breaks free and is slipped up at the 35-yard line by Mitch Fettig. Offset to the left of Vernon Adams, who goes to work on first down. Fakes the handoff, settles in. Scans, adjusts, throws on the run to his left, and a complete pass Down inside the 10-yard line. Byron Marshall with a catch.
I can remember Pete Carroll telling me sometimes at quarterback position you want the guy that you'd pick first in the backyard if you were playing backyard football. Well, that's a backyard football.
Here's Adams. The handoff comes to Freeman, and he's in the end zone. Royce Freeman, 230 pounds, chiseled, leaps into the end zone. Touchdown, Oregon.
When they're running tempo in the field, it's hard. But it's even harder when they're going fast inside the 5 because you just can't really get a line. Taking advantage of it, they go for it on fourth.
And this is final year of collegiate eligibility. Hand off to Royce Freeman, who already has 3 touchdowns on the ground. He breaks it here to the 50. He's out near to the 40-yard line, and he has finally run out of bounds. Mitch Fettig, who weighs all of 175, trying to get in front of the locomotive. 230-pound Royce Freeman, it did. Cut him off, but now up on the play. Brings up 2nd and 1. They're going to go for the bundle. Touchdown, Oregon. Byron Marshall holds it in. Marshall at the pylon, and a beautifully thrown ball by Vernon Adams. Rashad Waddou was there, but he was screened beautifully by Byron Marshall.
It's a back shoulder throw, and they teach you to throw right to the back of the helmet. Beautifully placed by Vernon Adams Jr.
Adams has now run the ball 12 times for 89 yards. Tony Brooks James is in the backfield. He is called upon to carry it, and he will. They'll take 3 tacklers with him across the 20-yard line and very close to a first down. There with a 30-yarder in his sights. Right between the hash marks, they'll set up. The snap, the hold, the kick is up, it is good. That will end the third quarter play. This fourth quarter ought to be a doozy.
That'll went all night long. This secondary against the receivers.
2nd and 10. Hennessy back to throw. Tosses that one right into coverage, and it is intercepted. Jawan Williams, the sophomore from Tucker, Georgia, comes up with the pick. And Hennessy tried to force that one into a crowd, Yogi.
100%. His eyes were on Terry Jackson the entire time. That's a redshirt freshman. That's a big play for that defense. Oregon gaining the moment.
Line up now in the backfield. Gets a nice block. Cuts to the 10. Cuts it back into the end zone on his 2 feet. Touchdown, Oregon. Dwayne Stanford springs him with a block. And the Ducks on the board. 60 big ones. With 7:47 remaining in the ball game. 35 Oregon. 7:47 left in the ball game from Eugene.
Immediately said that's not going to happen. His brother's playing DB now here as well, former QB.
Look at him out in the open field. He's tackling to the 50, turning on the burners to the 30. He's down to the 20, and he is hauled down inside the 10-yard line. Taj Griffin. He goes 61 yards on that burst. We talked about the embarrassment of riches here in Oregon. They just come in waves.
He's going to get some play as the season goes on.
487 yards on the ground for Oregon. Lockie will take a knee, and that will be that. You know, on top of that, we didn't see Charles Nelson tonight. A highly valued wide receiver. He may have had an injury situation, but we'll look for him possibly next week at Michigan State. Oregon wins this one 61-42 behind Vernon Adams. The era of Vernon Adams ended at Eastern Washington, and for 1 year it begins tonight here at Oregon.
And it's good to see. Look at the 2 best friends, Vernon Adams and Cooper Kupp's wedding. These coaches, great respect for one another. Now they've built their programs. All in all, I think tonight's game was great for Oregon. They're getting to refocus, especially in the back end, heading to East Lansing, go up against Michigan State a week from now. And for Vernon Adams, they've got their quarterback, Kevin. This young man, I think he's going to be a special player here.